Greetings, friends, and happy Tuesday. The word for today is plenitude. And plenitude, I learned something new today. I added this word to my vocabulary because in the past I always thought plenitude refers to abundance. And I always thought of plenitude as abundance of resources and abundance of material objects. What I learned today is that plenitude also refers to emotional abundance. And what's unique about this word, and then I'll talk about how it refers to today. What's unique about the word plenitude from an emotional or feeling perspective is that it's a fullness and a completion. It's a quality of satisfaction of an experience, of something being totally full and complete. So that's the word for today's Sabian symbol. And the symbol for today is of a choir, a hidden choir singing to a group of people in a cathedral. And what the reason, I don't know if you have, if you know this about the cathedral tradition, but choirs were hidden behind screens or up above in the back. And the reason for their being hidden was for the experience of elevation of music to transcend us out of ordinary experience. And so the term music of the spheres refers to the experience and the reality of the sound of harmony of the universe, the music of the universe, and the music of the planets, and the music of the stars. And so the symbol for today of plenitude refers to an experience of harmony, of feeling ourselves elevated to this level where we're participating with the angels in singing, in the experience of harmony of all the dimensions and all the realms, including our physical one. So a quality of transcending physicality while still being in physicality and experiencing fullness and completion and satisfaction and harmony. And what was interesting when I meditated on this symbol this morning is that I had this experience when I woke up today and could feel this sense of elevation and harmony of the larger realms of light in my physical body and an eagerness about the day. The experience I had, I'm bringing this forward because it's related to what many of you may be experiencing today. The experience I had as I stepped into my day filled with eagerness was that sense of elevation moving into distraction of having trouble making decisions and choices, and then feeling a bit fatigued and overwhelmed about what to do. When I sat with this experience, in the contrast from earlier in the morning, the elevation and eagerness and the infusion of inspiration moving into overload and fatigue and difficulty making decisions, I laughed because today is last quarter moon, and the cards for last quarter moon are the eights. And I completely went through this whole spectrum of experience today. So I'm going to take you through the eights. First, the Eight of Wands, which is called swiftness. It's this experience of receiving the infusion of vitality and being able to be a clear channel for life force and courage and willpower so that we can stay aligned with new potentials and receive and transmit this consciousness of higher possibilities, which is the rainbow. So the swiftness refers to our ability to move energy with swiftness through our body and still remain integrated and balanced. And that leads to the Eight of Discs, prudence, which is the flowering of the tree or the flowering of the garden. And in practical words, in practical ways in our life, it means that we're able to run and transmit high quality and high frequency vibrations in order to bring order to the world. So last quarter moon is very much about transmitting and receiving our insights into how things have gone well this quarter, this lunar cycle, how where we want to make adjustments and sort of doing a cost benefit analysis of our month from a place of inspiration of how can we succeed and excel this month and this time. and then the ability to, in practical ways, start to bring that to order in the physical world, which is prudence. So I completely started my day this way, super inspired. And then after a couple of hours, I found myself both distracted and having trouble making decisions about what to do, and then starting to feel fatigue, emotional fatigue. And then I really laughed when I realized that's the other two eights. So the Eight of Cups is called indolence. Yes, indolence. And it refers to emotional overextension, which leads to fatigue and burnout by not having good boundaries. The Eight of Swords, interference, refers to overthinking things through, getting lost in the details. So my sequence went from getting lost in too many details and overthinking things and getting distracted by all the possibilities for today. And then that led to fatigue. So once I realized what was happening, I pulled back and dropped back in and just meditated again for a while, and I'm feeling much more centered. I actually put my scarf on. I'm getting warm, I have a cup of tea, and I'm rebooting for my day so that I can really maximize the potentials today, which are huge. So as I sat and got ready for our message and for connecting with you, I went to the Keepers of Light cards, the Ascended Master deck, and I shuffled and asked for a message for all of us today, including you, for how to maximize these potentials and how to learn how to run inspiration through our bodies so that we can hold that charge and ground it and make practical, concrete decisions so that we can continue to interface with inspiration without getting burned out or distracted or fatigued. And so I asked this question, and I was pulling in the energies of this lunar month, and we received again Kali Ma, which is the message of that our ability to hold fire, to face our fear, to face our own stress patterns, our own resistance, our own whatever the qualities we have when we feel bigness of things, to face all that and learn to run that energy so that we can show up and receive all the support that's always available. And also release any patterns that the expansion is activating that are any limiting patterns. So you'll remember perhaps that this card is directly related to the card in the position of spirit for our full moon spread. So there's a lot of help right now, and there's a lot of acknowledgement that we are very much about this new year feeling the inspiration of what's possible. And it's easy right now, as I spoke in yesterday's message, it's easy to move to overwhelm or frustration or a little bit of fatigue because we're feeling the bigness of everything that we want to show up for. We're feeling this huge inspiration about what's possible and everything we've learned and everything we want to show up for and all of the potentials of the new year and what's unfolding. It's easy right now to move into distraction and fatigue from not being sure exactly what to do and just feeling so many potentials. So know that the infusion of inspiration you feel is real, and that it's your job now to use your muscles to transmit and hold the inspiration, hold the trust, and then ask just for today, what are the best steps for today? For me, for myself personally, and then for aligning with those friends and those groups who are going to travel with me this year, and all the new projects I'm going to bring forward. How can I better prepare and step forward myself so that I can step into these bigger possibilities? A lot of inspiration, a lot of excitement, a lot of eagerness is coming through now. We're experiencing visions of new possibilities of unity, and we can see that in the larger culture, as well as what we're feeling personally in the choices and the opportunities that we're looking forward to for the year. So I invite you today to invite the experience and the feeling of plenitude, of fulfillment, of wholeness, of your ability to bridge this physical and non-physical world. The Eight of Wands swiftness shows the rainbow bridge, our ability to learn how to travel back and forth between the spiritual and the physical realms. and how to continue to build our muscles of being able to stay in integrity while we're running our inspiration, while we're running our willpower, and the visions that we have of all that is possible. So I wish you a day of plenitude, of celebration, and of inspiration, and of expansion, and the feeling of fullness and completeness of knowing that in this very moment all is well, all is perfect as it is, and this is our heaven on earth, and we are here to remember that and to celebrate it. So have an amazing day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.